Good evening to you. Oh, out of focus already. That's a great start. My eyes. Right. The amazing Austin brothers are in the studio with me. So let's bring them onto the screen. Waldorf and Statler. Oh, no, that's dark. But we can hear you, gentlemen.
That was the worst thing you ever heard.
While we're getting you sorted
It's a mime show.
It's a mime show. Okay, I'm going to have to get everything, all the other furniture off the screen.
It's dark in here, isn't it?
And yeah, I'll turn the light on in that corner of the studio in just a moment because we've got more people to bring on. Johnny Cocktail was ready to join us. Johnny Cocktail, good evening to you. Hi there. And in the outgo, Michael and Catherine. Good evening to you both. Look at that. And Andy and Leona. Unexpected items in the back. There we go.
Hey, there we go. Look.
Well, it's the Wine Club, the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club. Thank you for being here. Happy New Year to you all. Let's go first to Johnny Cocktail. Where are you in the world, Johnny?
I would be in Tavira.
Tavira, down there in the other. Excellent. Okay, let's go round clockwise then to Michael and Catherine. Where are you? I think you might be in Tavira as well, right?
Well, we're in not so quite sunny, partly rainy Villarreal de San Antonio.
VRSA, okay, you're in VRSA. Thank you for being here, and excellent. Be gentle. I'm a wine ninja virgin, says Johnny. We will, don't worry. Certainly in the early part of the show, and defender of our right to good wines. Is that an interesting acronym there? Okay, well, thank you for being here nonetheless. And Andy and Leona, I'm guessing in Leiria. Good evening to you. How is Leiria?
Yes, indeed. Leiria is cold, like everywhere else, I suspect.
Yes,
but not as cold as the UK. So
no, quite
we're
right.
all good.
Excellent to see you both. All right, so let's go to Gary and Terence here, who happen to be in the same room as me this evening. I'm so glad you're here, gentlemen.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how you can stand it.
Yeah, the testosterone in the room,
testosterone,
one thing.
the aromas.
I think we've had to leave the door open slightly ajar. For
please
those,
do.
Pheromonic acid. Yes, it could have an unnecessary effect on the one. And Linda's joining us. Hey, can you hear us, Linda?
Yes, I got it sorted.
How about that, everybody? Here we are. We are streaming live. The Good Morning Portugal Wine Club is back in session for 2024. We've tasted over 50 wines, probably over 60 now. And tonight's idea, the best Portuguese wines of 2019. Over to you, Terence Austin. It was your idea.
Yeah, I've been pinned with this one, but it's kind of like I've volunteered for it. Yeah, 2019. That's what we've got to focus on. You know, what were you doing at 2019? Can you remember? Can anybody really remember?
I wasn't expecting that question. It had been here 2 years in Portugal.
Oh.
But
I remember, yeah.
Go on, Doc. What were you up to?
I was thanking my good luck.
Spanking.
After Leon and I got together.
I thought you said spanking. He said what?
Was there a
I said I was thanking my good luck.
Oh, thanking
you. Good luck.
Right. Okay.
After Leon and I had got together, and at this time of 2019, actually, yeah, it was very early on, but yeah, all good.
Excellent.
But we were in sunny Birmingham, and Leona was working, and I was not, and yeah.
Of the United Kingdom, we hasten to add, in case anyone was getting too excited. So thank you very much. And Johnny Cocktail, do you remember what you were doing in 2019?
I was on probation.
Excellent. Everything okay now? All sorted out? Put it behind you?
Yes, I had a great lawyer.
And you've repaid your debt to society?
Partially.
Incrementally, yes.
Okay, all right. We'll keep up the good work. That's excellent. Thank you for joining us. We're equal ops here, aren't we? Linda, 2019.
We moved to Portugal in July 2019.
How about that? Okay. All right, so you've taken... Oh, and Michael and Catherine, of course. Sorry. 2019.
2019, we're just trying to think about it. We know where we were in 2018. We were in Portugal and Spain on a motorcycle. Yeah, but 2019 was a blank.
Bit of a blur.
Let's get in fun.
Yes, good for you. If you were there, if you can remember it, you weren't there, sort of thing. Okay, excellent. And thank you for muting up in between times, because I think we've got a bit of squelch and feedback coming through your microphone there. So you're back to you, Terence.
Yes.
2019, what possessed you?
What possessed me? Well, if you take a look at the shelves in the supermarkets and the wine shops, you can pretty much get many years, within the last 10 years of wines, but we seem to find a bit of a dearth, bit of a shortage of wine from 2019. And that got me thinking about, well, why is that? Was it a really bad year or was it a good year? Now, I've asked around a bit, and my personal feeling is it was probably a good year. But really, this evening, I want to put it out to everybody to get involved. And we're all sampling, except Johnny, who's got 2021, is it, Johnny?
Oh, I muted him up in between times because we got feedback.
Yeah.
Was
Okay.
it 20? Yes.
2020. So we're really going to put this theory to the test. Was it a good year?
Very good.
Was it a good year? Let's leave the question open.
Yeah.
And we're going to get our sort of taste buds around the various wines that we've bought and go for it, really. And everybody gets involved, and let's find out what people like and dislike. And then at the end of the soiree, we can come to an opinion of whether it was actually a good year. Was it a good year for the roses, Elvis Costello, or was it a bad year?
Sending the clowns,
just a mediocre year, or sending the clowns.
It's sending the clowns, or
Yeah.
it was a very good year. We can, we could sing, couldn't we? I mean, we may well be in the mood to do that. So, if I may start here with the 2019 Manuel, because I think we should start before we go into the red. Start with this light white. Yeah?
Oh, you want a bit of a?
It's a Vinho Verde. So finish what you've got in your glasses then, and give them a wipe.
Where's the spittoon?
It's the best I can do tonight. Is if you could wipe yourself after enjoying.
Have to keep your elbows to yourself.
Yes, and we will go with this Vinho Verde. Sorry, go on, Linda.
Can I ask why Gary and John are frozen?
Well, he hasn't taken his coat. Oh, why they've frozen? Why he's still got his coat on? I don't actually know. Let me just take them off the screen.
I think it's a fig.
And see if that helps. I might have to refresh them from time to time. Oh, there you go.
Oh, yes.
There we go.
The magic of television.
We've gone again.
The magic of television was ruined when you saw them with the kitchen roll. But you can hear them. I'm afraid that's as good as it might get this evening.
Yeah.
Oh no,
We're experiencing what they call technically as lag. We're a couple of lags. Yeah.
Couple of legs, all right. So I got this Vinho Verde. See, I think of Vinho Verde as a new wine. So this like 4 years old.
It's survived a long time.
What, in the supermarket or generally?
Just around longer than it should have done.
Well, that'll be an interesting experience, then, won't it, to see whether Vinho Verde.
It survived a long time because of its high acidity.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think its chances are good then, Michael, with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I drink it.
It's a Loureiro, and we'll have an opinion here from the amazing Austin brothers and myself here. So are you ready to be topped up? And I've got a little something to go and eat with that. I'll come back with it.
Have you got any?
Not yet.
So
keep talking.
as Carl disappears into the mist, we are now going to probably pour ourselves a little bit more than we should. No, better not.
Go for it.
And give Gary a little slurp here. And Vinho Verde. I'm not a lover of Vinho Verde.
You know.
Not really.
Yes.
I like reds, but it's got some salmon, lemon.
To go with that.
He's not going to give us any. And so let's have. First off, Gaz, what do you think of the legs department?
I think his legs are quite nice. For an older guy, really. He's not
Come
too
on,
bad.
explain to everybody what legs are.
Right, okay.
For the uninitiated.
If you swirl the grass round like that, right?
Grass,
yeah.
Swirl the
half of
grass.
it, yeah. It's not going to actually show with this because it's a lighter wine, but
No.
if it's a more heavier red, full-bodied red, you should get like streaks running down the glass.
Yeah.
And those are the legs. And the stronger the wine, the more viscous the wine, the more legs you get. For instance, we had a wine last night which was a very strong wine, and you could actually see there were legs all the way around. It was quite a viscous sort of wine, but this is quite lightweight.
So what do you reckon of the colour?
Well, yours is slightly red.
Mine's slightly tinted.
tainted, I would say.
Tainted.
But that's it's golden, isn't it?
It's a lovely colour.
It's not. I think of Vinho Verde as lighter, cleaner looking than that. This does look a little bit. Maybe it's a psychological thing now because I think it's old. It's looking old, and my little taste is telling me it's tasting a bit old. Well, what do you think?
We're going for it now, guys.
There's hardly any little bit of a smell on it. Strawy sort of citrusy.
I mean, it's nice. It's nice enough, but it seems to be lacking the freshness of a new Vinho Verde and lacking the agedness of something that you would think would have come on a bit in those 4 years in the bottle.
It has
A knowing look on Terence's face. What do you make of it?
Well, it's yeah.
Not a fan, are you?
I'm not a fan.
No, he's not
it's
happy about
probably
that.
Vino Verde. You know,
It's not
It's a
fresh
bit-
though, is it? It's not got the freshness of
it's not
Vinho Verde
crisp,
that you're
is it?
looking for.
It's not that crisp punch
I think-
to it.
No.
4 years in the bottle, is it?
Yeah.
4 years in the bottle. It hasn't really helped this, has it?
Oh dear. Well, let's move on then, shall we? Let's go to Linda. What have you got? What's your 2019 selection? And tell us about it, if you will.
It's Trot.
Right, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom into you there.
Linda's got the drop.
Right. Okay. Tröte. What does that? What does that mean
never seen
exactly? Do we know?
Sorry, it's from the Tejo, and it is oh, I can't see it now because it's a bit dark. There's 3 different grapes: Arganege, Tricadera, and Castellio. Yeah, and it says the ruby-coloured wine and ripe fruit aromas is full-bodied in the mouth, has round tannins and a persistent finish. It's actually quite nice. It's quite fruity. I don't think it's full-bodied. It's quite smooth, and it doesn't really have much in the way of tannins. Not spicy. I quite like it because I don't really like red wines that are really full-bodied. So I find it quite pleasant to drink.
Okay. So there we see it on Vivino there. Not a big hitter there, not hugely popular, but a good price, I would say. And Tejo area, Portuguese wine, of course, Trota, which is an equestrian reference there. So we'll come back to you as you form more of an opinion about that. Michael and Catherine, whilst we're finishing the Vinho Verde, which I think we're keen to do, right? Michael and Catherine, what do you have?
Well, ours is special.
Here's a story.
Oh, go on. I'm going to zoom into you now.
Oh, hang on, I got that. There you go.
Okay, turn it a little bit. Yeah, okay.
Heartland.
It's an amphora wine.
Okay. Tell us what that means.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Yeah, you know what an amphora is?
As in fermented in clay, perhaps.
Correct.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's going to be a Roman wine. This is
Versions of the same one. Two
No.
versions of that process. One is in
Talias.
Talias, which is the old way of doing it. Well, actually, the amphora is the old way of doing it, which is the way the Romans did it. But then there's a newer method, which has only been around for about 1,500 years, and that's the Talia, which is
Really big clay
they're a
pots.
huge
Really
clay
big.
vessel, bigger than the amphoras.
Yeah.
And it's a speciality of what's the name of the city?
Vidigaira.
Vidigaira and
Frades, Villa de Frades.
Villa de Frey.
So we were on a road trip this last weekend, and we stumbled across, as you do, a Roman ruin, which we didn't know was there. And we went in and toured it, and it was absolutely fantastic. And this is in Villa de Frades, which is just north of Beja, in the South Alentejo. And we toured the Roman ruins, and it was fascinating. I mean, because it's really tall, it's an old Roman villa, and so it has the remains are tall, not just spread over the ground like they are at Coimbraga. But then we found out that in the little neighboring town, they make this wine in the old they've revived the winemaking of the old way that they used to make it in the Roman days in what are called talios, Talha, talia. And they are like an amphora on steroids. They're made out of local clay in the nearby town of Vidigaira. And they started making them again just recently in that town. these giant tallias. And so wine is aged in these tallias, and the tallias are coated before the wine goes in with a resin to make them waterproof. And the resin is pine resin, plus wax from the beeswax. And so that's going to impart a little flavor to it too.
Quite, yeah, absolutely.
They're not really long storage wines, but we wanted to get Italian wine. And there is a Italian wine museum in Villa de Frades. And it was fascinating. I mean, in fact, it's really well done. Yeah. So we highly recommend.
Are they sort of human height?
Michael, did you not put that picture?
No, I didn't bring. I should have posted the photo. They're taller than me.
Yeah, taller than Michael. I have a photograph of Michael standing beside some, and I'll send it to you, Carl.
They're probably 2 meters tall.
Yeah, and they're at the head of the shoulders of them are probably 1.5 meters wide. Yeah, so pretty big. And we wanted to get a bottle of, we thought, well, what a great idea for the wine club to do a wine tasting of tallias. Unfortunately, they're highly seasonal and we couldn't get one. And also they're not
usual. 2019.
Yes, and they're not usual Portuguese wine prices, shall we say.
No.
But while Michael was in the wine store, he found an amphora wine, which is, we are told, not entirely the same. It's made in and aged in amphorae, not in the tallias.
This one's from the town of Cuba.
This is from the town of Cuba, which is right in the neighborhood of Vidigueira.
And when you say it's not the usual Portuguese wine price, by a factor of how much more is it more expensive?
Oh, this was $15. 15 euros.
Yeah,
so definitely not overly expensive. But the one that he had from Vidigueira was $42.
Euros.
42
euros.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
So that's a special occasion.
Yeah.
But he also, this is Michael's local wine store who has it's not just going to the continent. He said, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between an amphora wine and an Italian wine. Now we'll have to test that claim some other day, but we'd like to get some, this is just brand new to us. So we'll get some more information and pass it along, but it's something else to know about Portuguese wine.
Tell us about your first impressions of it as well, if you will.
Well, I can tell you the nose is really, it's almost far and above anything I've had from Alentejo. You know, I've made a comment before that Alentejo is great at making wines that all taste the same because they want to have the same thing all along so people recognize it. This is totally different. It's got a lot of mineral nose to it, which I guess you'd expect, and really does have big blackberry fruits and boot leather or something. I don't know. It's just
strong. Then the sort of thing Linda wouldn't like, by the sound of it. Very full.
Yes, not for Linda. It's not for you, Linda. But so this one, how much was this one?
14 something.
This was 14 odd euros.
Hold it where you are there, Catherine, because I just want to zoom in on that so people can see it. So there's a 2015 as well, and an amphora wine there, Art Terra. Thank you very much for introducing that idea to us. Now it sounds like the builders have come into the studio because Laurel and Hardy here. I'm just trying to get the cork out of the next bottle of wine. What happened over there?
It's gone back.
Have you made a cork?
Are you using power tools?
Well, they are. I've got this rather splendid electronic corkscrew, which they seem to have. I don't. Have you seen Zoolander, where Derek and the other guy are trying to turn on a Mac computer? It's like that scene, but with an electronic corkscrew instead. It's hilarious. Yeah. Cavemen, have you sorted it out yet?
Maybe we should give it to him because he knows what he's doing. We're not going to get many more attempts at that.
They've botched it, Carl.
It's a cork jigsaw, basically, now, isn't it? So
yes,
adding value there. It's not going in. They say, okay, we'll carry on. Right, thank you very much for the time being, Michael and Catherine, on that. Johnny, how's your 2020 going down, and what is it? I'm going to unmute you for this for the purposes. Oh, that's an interesting label. What's going on there?
Find the label.
Anaglypta.
Yeah. So get it facing you. It's a Tapada das Medres, the signature. It's a 2020 Alentejo.
Yeah.
It's principally Syrah, Cab Sauv, Arganesh, and Alicante Boucher, which
what do you
is
think?
a little thin on the finish, but overall, like was expressed, an Alentejo wine. They use similar blends for many of the wines, and so they do. There might be some similarities that run among them, but I'm a Syrah fan, so this checks some nice boxes for me.
Okay, Syrah. Oh, someone had to say it. Well, that's great. And you were led to choose it because of your favorite grapes, were you? Is that how it works for you when you're choosing?
Well, I'm a fairly recent arrival to Portugal and not knowing the ins and outs of the vineyards and their offerings. So I've gravitated to Alentejo and Douro wines because they feature the type of grape and the style with which I'm accustomed, but I'm certainly looking forward to expanding, my resume of Portuguese wine drinking.
Perfect. And you, Casa Cocktail and the Whitbees here, I think, are bringing a certain professionalism or elevation to the wine club with your interest and knowledge. With no disrespect to the former or the first comers to the wine club. Is that fair to say, Andy?
Absolutely. Yeah. There've been some wonderful quotes that came out of the initial sessions of the wine club, which betrayed our complete lack of professionalism, but not our lack of enjoyment.
Exactly. No, you've certainly made up for it in enjoyment and enthusiasm. But we love the depth to which you're taking us and breadth of understanding the subject. So welcome aboard tonight, Johnny Cocktail, Casa Cocktail, and the Whitbees. Thank you for being here again with your selection. How's it going here then, gents? Have you managed to get into that bottle yet?
Well, we've gone the traditional route.
What, you smashed the bottle?
The world of electronics is really a bit of a ghost. It's dead.
All right. So are we ready to taste then?
Long live the new way of opening corks.
You seem a little bit disgruntled.
I'm very disgruntled.
Being brought into this age of
made a right
bottle
opening. No, that would.
I'm really bothered because.
Okay, I'm ready for yours.
Well, Michael has a comment on this.
Wine and Linda's drinking merrily over there.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, you can tell from the different faces, can't you? Here, Linda's very contented, just enjoying her wine, whilst the Austin brothers here are making a right old mess of it, and they've not even had a drink yet.
Old mess of your table.
Get that bus out of here!
Yeah, there's some woodworm here.
I'd like to make a comment on Johnny's selection on the Syrah because I think Alentejo does a great job of growing Syrah, and they've got that really great peppery note that people who like Syrah, they look for that. And Alentejos, I believe they have them. Not all of them, but they've just got a really nice blend. They're almost like the Alexander Valley in Australia. That they do the same kind of thing. It's almost the same flavor. Really good, strong Syrahs, I think.
Right. Okay. Well, I think we're staying with Syrah, aren't we, for this?
No.
Are we not?
We're on to a Jayen.
If that's the name of the grape, I'm not familiar with that.
Well, it's one of my. It's the reason that I bought this is I do like Jayen as a grape, and being 2019,
it's the best ventriloquism wine evening we've ever seen, isn't it? This okay.
Let's keep talking.
Keep going. You're right. It's the radio.
Yeah, it's the radio. Okay. So this is a Beira, which I'm not certain where it's coming from. Is it the Beira region?
It is the Beira region. Beira, spelled Beyra, and it's from the Beira, isn't it?
I think so.
Very interesting.
It's a JN. JN. You should get the old Z.
Okay.
Z. So I'm going in now. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what.
I'll take a drop of that if I may.
Well, while you guys have a drop, right? I recognise this wine, and I think the winemaker. Do you remember when we did the Malcata white wine from the biologic one, the white one, a few months back?
Yes, Malcata. I do remember with the links on the label. Yes,
I believe the winemaker's the same. He's the same guy.
Okay.
Now this has a lot more legs for a start,
and lends itself to a limerick. It once was a man from Malcata, a bit like the Nantucket.
It once was a man from Calcutta.
Okay.
So there's quite a lot more sort of legs in that.
If only you could see them, what they're doing here. It's
and we're
beautiful.
Gonna have a sniff. What do you think of the snifter there?
There's a little
The
bit
nose,
of dry fruit, bit of wood.
dry fruit, bit of wood,
Slightly raisiny.
raisins, jumpers for goalposts.
Whiff of tobacco, maybe.
I knew this was a bad idea.
Oh no! How can you get tobacco?
Yeah.
out of it?
It's the smokiness.
I'm not going to drink cigarettes.
Tobacco is quite a common.
I've got Palmer Violets.
Yeah,
There is some floral in there. I always miss the floral,
I've basically got wine,
but not a strong.
wine and
smelling
a bit
one.
of river water as well.
But well, that's the sulfur in the wine. Isn't it?
How does Linda put up with these two in the same house?
He's not in the same house right now.
The screenshot's good. The screenshot is serving the poetry that we're hearing.
Yeah,
Each other.
yeah, it is.
Let's go in for a drink.
Let's go in for a taste.
For a
Okay,
swoosh.
you have a. I'll talk and
Oh, yeah,
you.
there's plenty of legs
In your
on that.
mind's eye.
And then you have a chat, and so you're going in now. So Garvo's going in, and he's drinking style is what I would call sort of Bobby Charlton-esque. Yeah,
If you've ever
Brian Moore.
listened to cricket on the Radio 4, this is like the wine tasting version of cricket, isn't it?
well, it is. We got into that. You know, when he falls over, he's gone. They're all out. That's it. It's all
Quite
over.
incredible here at Lord's today. Quite incredible.
The 100 never came up for him.
It's a long, slow, lazy
It's a long-
delivery, but it's the best he's capable
It's a
of.
long hop to mid off, and it's needed. Oh, it's all gone now. It's like a house of cards.
Long leg.
What do we get in there in the taste?
Right, it's a very smooth wine, very cultured. Gradual, long taste to it. You're going through like the
Complex.
blackcurranty fruit taste,
Agreed.
with something slightly dry, spicy,
Dry.
and then runs out to a slightly tannic. I can feel it on this side of my mouth now.
How long do you think it lasts on the palate?
Probably about 30, 40 seconds at least.
It's not a bad run for
Value.
your money, is it? I mean, because I don't know. So I don't know what you think. But, you know, when you drink a wine and it stays on your palate for 2 minutes or whatever,
It's a wee bit
too-
chocolatey as well, dark chocolate.
Yeah,
It's a
no,
sort of wine that you want to start charging it rent for the amount of times it stays.
Well, what it cost me, yeah. I bloody want some money back on this one, I tell you.
least higher agreement on this bottle.
So,
It means the muscles gone in your tongue and you can't swallow.
all right, you
That's-
talk and I'll taste, okay?
The pictures are not
Good.
of men whose tongues have frozen. It's just a lag problem of some
Now,
sort.
some wines you get, and it's like a violent assault on your tongue.
Yeah.
This is a gradual apply through the tastes from your fruitiness, slightly, very, very slightly acidic, to the deep sort of jammy fruit in the middle, running out through the smokiness and the wood, and ending on that bitter chocolate. Would that be a reasonable assumption?
No, I think you've encapsulated that one. I'm having difficulty adding anything to that at all of any value.
Yeah.
Other than
Sweaty
just-
saddles?
Sweaty
Other than-
saddle?
Sweaty saddles.
Sweaty
no, I'm
saddle,
not getting sweaty saddles.
leather pants.
Yeah,
Live in hope.
lederhosen,
Live in
no,
hope,
I'm not
right?
getting any of that German stuff.
Right.
I'd say this is quite pleasing. Foods this would go with cheeses. Not too strong a cheese, actually. I wouldn't
But,
put
and
that-
an incredible contrast
And
to,
then
the
meat.
disappointing Vigne Verde, right? A
Um,
totally different
Well,
story.
let's leave that one behind. Yeah, I mean that. Why go over old history? That one's been and gone.
I feel
right?
reprimanded slightly.
You know, it was a brave choice.
It was. That's certainly that, wasn't
Seriously,
it?
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
It showed a lovely perspective because everybody rushes for red, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
But you've gone for a 4-year-old sort of Vino Verde,
Yeah.
which
Which I
you
won't
know,
do again.
Could have been it
What
could have
you
been
need-
spectacular.
What we need
Just
to go
on,
now, Carl, is to have some of this red just to try it. So,
I'm there already.
Yeah,
I'm
you've
with-
got-
I'm
you've
with-
got
did you have
some,
some?
yeah.
But the problem I had was every time I took some in to taste it and ponder it, your commentary was making me laugh, and I had to swallow it quickly because I thought I was going to spit it out
get
in
Pebble
front
Dash.
of course the
Some
whole computer
Pebble
here.
Dash, your lovely white
But I
balls.
loved your commentary. Thank you very much. It's a shame there is a lag and that you're frozen in the way that you are on the screen. But I think that was a very comprehensive insight. And if you could pass me the bottle, then I'll show everybody what. we've got
Don't
here.
pass him the ball.
No, I can't.
You won't get
Okay,
it back.
right.
You might not get it back. Got to watch
Oh,
him.
danger, danger. They're all in the same house.
Jane, there you go. Look, Beira from Beira, which is I think a little Portuguese wordplay there, isn't it? I do
I
like
think
the
so, yeah.
Portuguese sense of humour in
Yeah.
that way, and the
Yeah, yeah.
wordplays. I think the Portuguese like a pun in the same way that the British do.
Well, apparently they taste great. I like a good pun
A
myself.
bit of salt and vinegar.
Uh,
You're right.
Honestly,
Right.
Less salt.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Thank you very much for that very complex analysis of the Beirut 2019 there.
I
Certainly
think he
2019.
just described a glass of red wine from Old Malden, which it comes in a big bottle in the US.
That's
And
interesting.
it's
So from the
about
description they gave.
$6 for a gallon, I think.
Oh, okay. So
It
from
has
the
every one
description.
of those flavors.
Oh, all right. But that's interesting forensics, isn't it?
Well,
Michael working it backwards like that.
Michael, this was 20 euros, kid. So you know, come on,
Oh,
€6 for
right.
a pack.
Wow.
I'll be round to
That's
see you in a minute,
that's not
mate.
helping with his earlier disgruntlement with the technology. Okay, we'll come back to him. Let them have a little drink and relax for a minute, because that was quite upsetting, I think, with the electronic corkscrew, wasn't it?
Honestly,
Honestly.
my nerves are shot.
That's never going to happen again.
I thought for a while we were going to lose it there, so I'm highly traumatized.
Yeah, no, it was well done for holding down your
keep the phone.
emotions and being professional. So well done. Okay, Andy and Leona, 2019. Did you manage to get something? I can't remember if we've had this bit of the conversation with you so far, Leona.
Yeah, well, we found in a very upmarket wine shop we have in Leiria.
Lidl.
How do you know? Sorry, go on.
The truth of the matter is, Linda told us about the wine club being on today, and we hadn't been out all day. The only time we went out was to collect Alicia from school. So we stopped at Lidl, which was on the way back, and I said to Alicia, look for a red wine that says 2019.
Very good.
That's what we did. We picked up the first bottle we could find.
I have to say that Gary did tell me a few days ago, but in my normal lackadaisical fashion, I had totally forgot to do anything about it. So anyway,
this is a perennial, though, isn't it? This is a favourite. You will see this in Lidl, and it's good to have it included tonight so that you can tell us about it.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So this is a Adega de Villarreal.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's very nice, especially for the grand total of €3.60.
Yeah. It's an unbelievable wine for the price.
It's a premium 2019. It's Touriga Nacional, Touriga Franca, and Tinto Roriz.
Yeah.
And it says it's 14%, which explains the very long legs that it has. It's pleasant on the nose, isn't it? It's a bit of leather, fruit, as one might expect.
Smoky, I think.
Yeah, a bit smoky.
Fruity, leathery, and smoky. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
What can I say about the legs? They're longer than mine. So I get that in.
Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons why Leona moved to Portugal was so that she would be somewhere where she had longer legs than most of the women.
That's not a reason I've heard for moving, but it's a perfectly good one, definitely. Well,
and so you can rest your wine glass on top of their head.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Such a good move. So thank you very much. We'll come back to you with your consumption of Villarreal, but thank you for including that very reliable Lidl purchase there. Oh, we seem to have live.
Well, it's very nice. I haven't told you how it tastes yet.
You did. You said smoky, leathery, and
no,
fruity.
that was on the nose. You're not listening. You never do.
No, it's true. I'm not listening. Go on, carry on.
So it tastes very much how it smells. No surprises. Slightly thinner on the finish than I normally like, but it's not unpleasant. I like it. I would buy it again. Yeah, what do you think?
It's red. It's 14%. It's got alcohol in. Oh,
there you go.
Keep it simple.
That's brilliant. We'll come back to you. Because sorry for keeping you waiting so long in the green room. The Bleachers, who are not well this evening, full of flu.
We are. Well, maybe. Goodness me, I was trying to do that earlier, and it was just off. So as we see, yeah. But no, we've got a huge selection of 2019s from downstairs, and there's one that I know that is really horrible that we're going to. So I've got best and worst. So I've got a really nice one that we're drinking now. And I've got something from the Douro which will literally strip paint off a wall. It's just disgusting. But it's probably one of the most expensive wines I've ever bought in Portugal. And I know from the other 5 that I've either given to other people or had the unpleasant experience of drinking, it is dire.
How disappointing is that? Yeah, and I think I realised something today, Pete. When I bought this Vinha Verde in 2019, and it was still under a tenner, but it was more expensive than most wines that I would buy under a tenner. And I thought to myself, there must be a scarcity value. If it's not necessarily related to quality, is it? It's because there aren't many bottles left of that year, so the price goes up. And that's not necessarily a reflection of how good the wine is. It's a reflection. It's like good old economic supply and demand, isn't it? There aren't many left. We're going to put the price up, and people buy them, and then they're disappointed. Is that what's happened with your Douros 19 that you're not?
I think it's that, and partly I'm a complete idiot when it comes to wine in terms of I'll go for a label I like as well. So this had a really nice wooden box, and it looked beautiful. I thought, oh, I'll have that. So I decided to pay something like, I think I paid about 26 euros a bottle for it, and it was just dire, right? It's literally the worst wine I've had since I've been here. And half the wines you get, especially when you're served a meal that are like €1, €1.50 for a litre, are fantastic. So it's just proof that the age, you're absolutely right, is not necessarily a predilection. But the age, I'm a massive fan of that settable muscatel. And this 5-year-old one is lovely, and that's from Lidl as well. So I'm with Andy and Leona here.
We've got no problem with the wine merchant Lidls, have we? Not at all. And I hear a lot of your friends got a wooden pencil case for Christmas this year, for some reason as well. Right, brilliant. Okay, that's you. So you're gonna show us both, are you? The web best?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so we've got.
Do you agree with Chinese Terry's assertion that 2019 was a good year?
I think so, just not in this particular part of the Douro Valley, which was just awful. But it has got a nice bunny rabbit on the front, which is
nice.
Is what I bought it for. So obviously, I'm very sadly.
Could you do that again? Okay, so that's the Pedra Escrita. This is the one you're not keen on. It's a reserve.
Oh, it's terrible. Honestly, it's probably one of the worst wines I've ever drunk. It really is awful. It's just
what's wrong with the wine?
Yeah, good question, Michael.
What's wrong with it? It's just very strange taste. It's really strong for a white wine, which is unusual to begin with. It's not fresh. It's kind of musky. I suppose I'd describe it as a Portuguese winter by the seaside. It's kind of moldy and musky and just unpleasant, really. So that's my kind of assessment of it. It's really a bad wine. I mean, I've had a lot. We're fortunate enough to get quite a few homemade wines, and I've never had anything homemade that comes close to being as just unpleasant to drink.
I'd been walking back to the wine store with it for sure, because I don't accept that from anything.
Really?
No, I know you're right, but it has got a lovely box, which I've still decided to keep. So that's
Michael, tell us about that. Now, from what you were gathering probably and what we were saying about the wine club before, we wouldn't dream of taking a wine back because we didn't like it. Is that okay in wine cycles?
You just put the cork back in and you take it back, whatever it is, a glass out of it, you just take it back and tell them this wine is off. And they will never argue with you. Well, a good store should never argue with it. We've had discussions around the world with wine stewards who, we've sent wine back.
Wow.
And some very expensive wines, and the sommelier will come along, and there's only once where a sommelier has ever said, "Oh, I don't think it's wrong." That was in Chile.
Yeah.
But I still refuse to pay for it. This is a $70 bottle of wine.
But that's not the point. The point is,
it's wrong.
Almost without exception.
They'll take it back.
They'll take it back.
Well, that's going to be a little snippet. I'm going to trim that out of tonight's wine tasting because I think that's really interesting information, and it tells you something, I guess, about somebody's grasp of the wine world, doesn't it? I would never think of doing that. I would think it was my fault.
Well, Michael, what percentage, Michael, of wine is off in cork?
10% of all wines that have a cork,
which is most Portuguese wines.
Oh, just about all of Portuguese wines, except the screw.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And the cartons.
10% of all wines with a cork, and it was worse about 10 years ago. There was an infection.
Did you know that?
No.
Those wines are off to some extent. Some of them, it's as simple as they're just oxidized because the cork's dried or it was a bad cork. And you'll put your nose in it and instantly, we were somewhere not too long ago, we had visitors from Germany. We were in a restaurant. I think it was down at the yacht club.
Not matter.
But they opened the wine and they poured it, and friend said, "There's something wrong with this," and I put my nose in it right away. I called them back and said, "This wine is gone. It's off." And they took it away and brought us a new one. The new one was perfect.
But the other thing is, if you are going to the same wine store, they will, first of all, appreciate knowing that that was the case, appreciate getting the opportunity to fix it, and also begin to know more about you and what your interest and taste level in wine is, so that they can match you to the wines they know you will like. And so all of that, even if it's the characteristics of the wine and you don't like it, take it back.
I'd still take it back to Continental Lidl.
Yep.
You know.
Very interesting.
Well, this one we got from an expensive wine store.
No, I'm not going to take it €2.50.
I'm more.
Yeah.
I'm more likely. I'm sorry. We're so British that I feel very bad about complaining about anything in Portugal in general.
Well, except you did. You complained on this show, which is publicity for that wine. And
that is true. Yeah.
Yeah. We would never dream of doing it to the person whose feelings we might hurt.
If you're going to complain to the person who could make a difference about it.
Well, I never. There you go.
Different.
That's the difference, isn't it, between the various sides of the Atlantic. Most wine shops want to know if the wine is bad. Take it back. Works in California and in France. So let's say, sorry, we've been neglectful of the messages on screen tonight. I think Augustine Stella Vodunion wants to help us with happiness, work, infertility, and love tonight. So, well, there's no contact details on there, unfortunately.
No. Have you got a number?
Mrs. M. Augustine is probably spamming a different show now. We were too late to respond to that. Hey, everyone. Hope you're having a lovely evening. Thanks, Mrs. M. Come and get a glass of wine.
Yeah, come and get one.
Hi, everyone from the OLP. Sorry, that was so long ago. Nubianet with us, of course. Y'all had a Georgian wine in clay cask and drank it from a traditional clay bowl in that amphora theme. What a lovely idea. Of course, the terracotta thing is not unknown here in Portugal, is it? We do like
do you know that the I'll say Roman wines, because that's a very loose term.
What are you doing to Terence there?
Who?
In the picture?
Oh, no.
I don't know.
Whatever it is I'm not doing now.
Sorry.
I don't like it.
Carry on.
The Roman wines made in the amphora, right? We're very, very strong wines. We're talking maybe 23 to 26% in their sort of volume, yeah. But this is why there were so many orgies and misbehaviour going on, because they were blooded, basically.
See what's coming up.
I like in the theory there. You were very Neil Oliver, weren't you?
May I just discuss my wine?
Yes, of course.
Which frankly has been a bit of a disappointment.
No,
it has.
Go on, carry on.
Although we've left it to warm up a bit because it was a bit cold when we had it.
Yeah.
What is it again, Gaz? Remind us.
It's a Marques de Marialva, which normally.
So you've already moved on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm going to try and refresh you, see if this changes something. Okay. You'll return from the darkness with your Marques de Marialva, who was a bit of a fop and dandy, I think, in the Portuguese culture.
Right.
Okay. The wine itself is a fop and a dandy.
Because what happens with this wine is it's got so much promise when you put it in your mouth because there's so much fruit and flavour.
I think that's what you used to say.
And then towards the end, Pete will know we get a hint of Belmont about it.
A hint of Belmont. Nobody wants that.
What's a hint of Belmont?
Cigarette.
Oh, right. I remember.
It is the name of a prison in the UK.
Explain what Belmont is to everybody.
Well, Pete and I had a glorious day in the Belmont region, sampling local products, none of which were particularly good, to be honest, beers and wines and cheeses. And this one, I'm afraid, has that hint right at the end of it. You put it in your mouth, it's beautiful fruit, deep flavors, and you go through the flavor, and then at the end of it, you get that sort of farmyard cowshed ammonia type hint.
Really? How awful.
I think you've been a bit rough on that one.
It's the end of it. I just don't like it. Now I've had their wine, which is made with the Barga grape,
and they make the fizz as well, don't they?
They do. But
hold it up. You're streaming live again now.
Right.
You're streaming live. There you go.
This one.
All right. Okay.
I've had this wine before, right? and it's always been quite nice.
And it's
but
got the
this one-
stickers on that encourage you to buy it. Wine
yeah,
stars, and a medal of honor or something.
Well, I can tell you, if you buy the Barger wine with the black label,
Yeah.
it is delicious. It is a delicious wine. But this one, I don't know whether it's this particular bottle, the year, or whatever. It's got that horrible backing to it, which is, it always reminds me of a cow shed, a goat shed, that ammonia type.
Now, we did take those back, didn't we? Gary, do you remember we took
Describe the Bordeaux wine.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
I do at the end of it. It's
You know when I tasted it earlier on,
Yeah.
and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now I'm quite
It's
starting
warmed,
to
it's
like
wa- it's
it.
warmed
It's
up.
warmed up a bit.
Yeah,
hasn't it?
but
The
could this
temperature's
be
come
the
up.
Good Morning Portugal Wine Club contribution to wine tasting? Bottom notes of cowshed. Because
Could be.
I've never heard
It's
that
very-
anywhere else.
It is.
Lovely.
It is.
Barnyard.
But Terence loves the cowshed. Terence
come
loves the
across-
cowshed.
come across it more than once, and it's I don't know what it's something they put
Mucky.
in the wine. It's kind of unbalanced. The wine. It's
Methane, maybe.
Could be,
methanous.
could be sulfur.
methanous.
Maybe
I-
Sulfur
in
and
the wine.
methane. Yeah.
I don't
okay.
get the farmyard.
Right
I-
at the end.
I get
just.
Well, it's lovely to be able to
bit
see
of
you both
fruit.
again. I'm very pleased that we can actually see you on the screen now.
Yes. quite
You're
nice,
cutting
isn't it?
quite the dash on the wine club tonight. Linda, how are
It could
you?
be like Carl, do you remember that massive wine explosion they had up north where
Do you
all
think
the
that's
wine
what was
flooded down the
causing
street?
it?
Well, they reclaimed it all, didn't they? So they basically got all the
Yeah.
bits with fag
Yeah, they
butts
did.
and dog shit and essentially rebottled the whole lot. So
I-
and
I'd
I
taste
still
it.
think
It
it's
tastes
amazing.
great.
what
No,
people
I'd,
like.
I'd give it a go. I'd give that a go. Right.
Got some guano.
Linda, how are you
Oh,
doing
I'm
there?
doing
You've been very
spicy.
quiet. I think you've been enjoying a quiet evening with these guys over here on this side of the country.
Hi, Linda.
Oh, we need to unmute you. Hold on a minute. That's my bad there. Start again, Linda, if you will.
Okay. I've just poured myself another glass, but I have to say, the first glass, I used this that Pete and Diane bought for me,
Oh, the
which was an
aerator.
aerator.
All right.
So I poured the wine through that into my glass, and it was really quite
Hold
nice.
it up again.
No,
Can we have a
no,
look? Let's have a look.
No,
Let's have a
look,
look.
that's the wrong thing.
Hoover.
That's from the special drawer.
Yeah.
What
You
on
know.
earth is that?
That's the tap.
Crystal wand.
So
No wonder you liked it, Linda.
Okay, Linda, you're cut off.
Sorry, Linda. Stop it, you lot.
So this glass, I've just poured it straight from the bottle into the glass, and it doesn't taste quite the same. So I actually think that using that aerator makes a difference to the wine. You know, it's sort of
Let's
like
go
it
to Johnny
helps to
Cocktail.
warm it up. It's nice.
Thank
With
you,
the
Linda, for
aerator,
that.
yeah.
And Johnny, I noticed that Johnny had something fancy on he had a fancy ending over there in Tavera.
A happy ending.
You've no, well, I don't know. Let's find out. You've inserted something there, Johnny. What was it that I noticed in the corner of my eye? We need to. Sorry, I need to unmute you again. I beg your pardon. So, what was the insertion that you made earlier on?
I'm not certain what insertion you're referencing.
I noticed when you.
I also have
There you are.
wine aerator. This is something with which I travel, and it's without any commercial endorsement. It's called a Tribella, and it's got a Triflow. Let me see if you can see here.
Yeah.
That it has 3 spigots that does a nice job of aerating the wine, and it makes a very elegant pour. It comes out in 3 equal streams, and so it's attractive in appearance, but it also does a nice job of aerating wine. And it comes in a little case, which makes it nice to travel.
Have you ever had to explain yourself at an airport?
No, but I think I may have sold many for the manufacturer.
Well, when the customs or the security person says, "What is this?" and it's a way of aerating your wine from the bottle through the neck of the bottle and wherever you are in the world.
That is correct.
How fantastic is that? Feel free to recommend that company. What's the name of it? How would we find it?
I believe it's manufactured in the state of Washington.
Okay.
Yes.
In the States. It's Tribella. So a quick search should turn it up. I don't know the breadth of its distribution, but it's a very long-lived, and we poured a lot of wine through it, and it continues to please us.
Amazing.
It's a lot easier to use than the crystal aerators.
Yeah.
Sorry, say that again,
noise,
Michael.
and they're
What was
noisy.
that?
Those
So that's a lot easier to use than the crystal aerators.
Okay, and an alternative to putting it into a
Like,
decanter.
yes.
Like the one Linda has.
Linda's using. Yeah, Linda's using. That's the whole model.
We have one of those, and it works great. But I like the one Johnny's got. We're going to look for one of those when we get back.
They're available on Amazon.
There you go. Amazing. All right, good.
$20 now in stock.
All right. So I think we should. The time has flown. Let me just mute up a few microphones here so we don't have so much feedback, and perhaps we can go around the room and get some final thoughts and see who wants to pick up the baton for next time. This has been an interesting experiment. Let's start with you, Terence Austin here, whose idea it was to delve into the cellar of 2019 and see what pleasures. In fact, the question you asked at the beginning, I think, was it a good year or not? What are your feelings about this now? Do you feel better now? You okay after the earlier difficulties?
All in all, I've loved the fact that I think people have contributed, and I love the fact that, you know, it's not been a long ramble by me about, you know, all the 2019, etc. I like kicking it out to everybody and their comments and, you know, listening, and because you learn more. So thanks for all the contributions. That's been superb. I am I don't really want to sit on the fence, but I'm undecided about 2019. It was a regular year. It was climatically predictable. It started off wet. There's a lot of water in the soil, which you know, the grapes benefited from later in the year, and we had a kind of dry winter, which helped the kind of picking process. So the ones that we've tried, I did try one from 2017 actually, which was nice, but the Jayen, which I bought and chose, I ended up liking. It's probably because of me, probably because I like that grape. 2019, I think I am going to give it a thumbs up, simply because
the year or that wine.
No, the wine, the wine year, the year of the wine. We talk that the year of the grape. I'm going to give it a kind of thumbs up there because I don't think it's too bad at all. However, with some reservations, especially with the Vino Verde. Sorry, man.
What else could we do but go there, right?
Well,
Garvo's getting quite agitated there. He needs the wine. Where have you put it?
I don't know.
Anybody know what the other bits of wine is? Because I was going to.
What bits of wine?
The other bottles of wine, because I just.
There's a bag.
He's brought a whole load of wine for honest.
Show and tell. I'm going to slightly digress here, right? Because
okay, let me just get those for you.
On my journey through last year, there's a few wines that I found which I would say you should try. Not necessarily for
cheers, man. They're not for me.
Okay, let's just very quickly go through. Oh no, that was the 17. Right. Okay.
Oh, okay. Let me just give you the screen so people can see what you're talking about. That's the one that you really like.
Yes, that one, different label, black label, right?
Yeah.
That was really quite nice. Compared to this one, there is no contest.
Full-bodied Barrada. That's the Marques de Marialva.
Yeah, that was nice. But 2019 it just didn't work. It just didn't work. If
Cadau.
Right, Douro. I know, Pete, you don't like Douros very much, but I found this one to be probably a bit more to your taste. This chap here, the Cadau, right, is really, really smooth. It's a nice, deep, well-flavored wine, not too dry, not too, bitter. So you might want to give that one a go. That is a lovely, lovely discovery for this year.
Okay, thank you for that.
I don't like this one. So.
Good all-rounder.
Diffuser.
And not very expensive. Yeah. Diffuser, yeah.
A very distinctive bottle. I think we've all seen that, haven't we?
It's all. You can see this in most places. Good all-rounding wine, right?
Yeah.
Not too expensive at all. Really, fits most things. It's the do-all wine.
Okay.
And this one, right? Still is one.
Oh, him and his Ermelinda.
No, because one. You know, you can get this problem. Hang on.
That's a Liddell wine merchant, isn't it?
Exposed there.
Yeah, can't get it right.
Can't
It is
go
the
to
Toriga
the edge
National.
of the frame.
Toriga National, right? Because the orange label. Get it from Lidl's. Yeah.
Come over here.
There he is. Look, he hasn't lost it. He's been out of TV for quite a long time, but he knows how to frame it.
As long as you get that colour there, right? You get it from Lidl's.
Let me just do that.
Get it from Lidl's. Maybe your camera's better.
Oh,
yeah, you need to share.
Yeah,
right.
over to
you. I'll
camera one.
There you go. Oh, there you go. Rosario. Toriga Nacional.
You go full screen, right? And I'll do the commentary.
Terence was better.
Right. If you find this wine in Lidl's, you won't be disappointed. It is a full flavoured, very, very nice single grape wine. Yeah, at a very, very reasonable price. I don't think you're ever going to be disappointed with this wine.
Well, that's an interesting distinction you make there. A single grape that Irma Linda are making.
Which I always think is a very hard task to do. Really.
Yep, fair enough.
Toriga Nacional. You can never go wrong with Toriga Nacional.
This wine for me tastes
great.
Long hot days, you know, really lovely wine for the price.
Taste of sunshine from Stabal.
Your budget wine that goes for that.
Toriga Nacional. You heard
I love that.
First.
That's another little snippet from tonight's show. Agavo's 2019 selection there. So thank you. Is that everything from the Amazing Austin Brothers on 2019?
I think we said enough to.
Yeah. I mean, we could go on, but I mean,
I know that.
Do, don't we?
Okay, so Johnny Cocktail, thank you for being here tonight. You really took a risk in joining us. You brought a 2020. Johnny. It's been really great to have you here. You didn't know what you were letting yourself in for. Will you come again, or is it unfair for me to put you on the spot like this?
I will definitely return.
Oh,
what a man. Thank you very much. And thank you for your erudite and thoughtful insertions and additions this evening to the proceedings, which I thought would happen because, if I may, you and I went out for an amazing drink in San Martino de Porto. And we together I think it was the first night I'd been in that cocktail bar that I'd walked past many a time. And we were with Rodrigo in there, and you basically educated me, hence your name, Johnny Cocktail. You know a thing or two about cocktails, and we tried a few in that cocktail bar in San Martino. It was a great evening, so thank you very much. And I look forward to your contributions to what we're doing here. If you feel the need ever to pick a particular bottle or grape or a theme for the evening, you'd be more than welcome to do so. Okay, so thank you for being here for the first time.
Can we see John?
Thank you.
Johnny's bottle again, just to remind people.
Yeah, can we have a reminder of your 2020 there? Or is it gone? Oh, there we go. The Tapada de Lebras. That's with an embossed label.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
And the
I've had a few. That's quite nice wine. They're doing nice rosé as well.
Is that like a hair?
Yeah,
Lebras is the hair, isn't it? Yeah. Cheers, Johnny. Thank you very much. Let's go around the screen as I see it to the Whitleys, Michael and Catherine. Would you like to conclude on your choice with the amphora vibes that were going on there in your part tonight?
I think, well, first thing I want to do is apologize to Johnny. I said the Alexander Valley in Australia, and I meant the Barossa Valley, but the Alexander Valley is in California. I'm sure you know that. This wine is probably one of the nicest wines we've bought in Portugal.
Wow. Well, there's a
special occasion.
It's
special occasion
because it really is an amazing wine.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
There's only two grapes in it: there's Aragonés and Toriga Nacional, which are the classics. But if you paired these together in other parts of Alentejo, they would not taste the same as this. I guarantee it.
It has to be the amphora.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So an interesting experience, which you've enjoyed by the sound of it.
Yes, and it's probably a special occasion one because it is all the way up at 14 euros. But
yeah.
You know.
Which I mean, in Portugal, you would say that, wouldn't you? But presumably in the United States, in the UK, it's like
that's why I said that would be a house wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible, isn't it? Incredible. So special occasion at 14.
This is a 2015, and our favorite 2019s are sitting up in the cupboard there. And I have to tell you, they're all Riojas. And 2019 in Spain was an incredible year for wines. I'm surprised it wasn't as good as it should be here because we're pretty close to neighbors. Mind you, Rioja is a long way from here.
Yes.
But those 2019 Riojas are some of the best we've ever tasted.
Very interesting.
Oh,
Well, it might have been that wet start. Not everybody likes a wet start first thing in the morning,
No.
Terence. Or the year, I mean, I should say. And funny you should mention Riojas because we have Thunderduck. T-Duck is saying hi from Spain this evening to our friends here. So, hola de España, amigos. Thanks for popping in, T-Duck. Excellent stuff. Thank you, the Whitbees. Very interesting.
Just one last thing, Carl.
Of course, go ahead, Columbo.
I sent a photo of Michael amongst the
Amphora.
I will find that. I will find that and display it. Yep. Oh, yes, I see. That's a really good picture for a sense of scale there. So we'll pop that on in just a moment after I've saved it.
Thanks very much, guys. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And likewise, seriously, the invitation is there to you as well.
Watching the G brothers together.
The G brothers.
Well, Michael, Catherine.
I thought they'd frozen again, but it's just the look on their faces, isn't it?
Actually, I don't know whether you know, but I got to see Michael and Catherine this week.
Did you?
Yeah. Pleasure, absolute pleasure to meet you both.
Oh, I love it when Gumpers meet Gumpers. Superb. And talking of Gumpers, we've got Bayrandi from the birthplace of the Marquês de Marialva. Who doesn't like a full-bodied Bayrada native from one to another? Absolutely. Good evening and cheers to you. And the best wine, says T-Duck, is always the one in my glass. That's a good approach to life, isn't it? Absolutely. So let's keep going around the screen. Let's go to Leiria, where Andy and Leona are watching The Price is Right, I think, on RTP, whilst tuning into the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club. How was that classic Villarreal been for you tonight, you two? So and I will unmute you as well, so you can tell us. There you go, Andy.
That's a good idea. So just before we talk about the wine, we're actually watching the big screen muted YouTube, so we can see what we look like and what everyone else looks like. Disconcertingly, it's got about a 7-second lag, so it doesn't really help. Anyway, there you go. I would like to say how much fun it's been being back here and to see old friends, especially Pete, desperately trying to cure his flu with his cigarettes there. But
always the solution, Doc. Definitely, that makes sense.
But I have to say, this wine really was very nice. And it's another Douro that actually I think Pete might like. It's not harsh. It's a lovely flavour, and very cheap. €3.60 for God's sake. I mean, little. What else can you say? But it has improved through the programme with the opening being open a bit longer. It's got a much nicer finish. So I like it even better.
It's reassuring, isn't it? When you're new to the country and you find yourself shopping in Lidl, which again is reassuring because it's a kind of global brand now, isn't it? You end up in the wine aisle of Lidl, and you think to yourself, well, that looks all right. That's a posh looking label on Villarreal. I've heard of that as a part of Portugal, and I think for a lot of people, it's one of the first wines people buy here and return to, as you've done tonight. So it's really reliable, great price, well done, Lidl. Because I don't think we should dismiss them.
No.
On account of being, cheap and cheerful.
Don't get posh about things. Don't get hoity. I mean,
they have some great wines.
They do.
They really have some great wines.
But did we not base this wine club on not getting too much?
This is what's happening now, isn't it? We're keeping our feet on the ground, and we're also getting elevated with our new friends in the wine club here who are taking us to new places. So I think we should always keep our feet on the ground in that Brummy kind of way,
in a fun sort of realistic way.
Yeah, and allow ourselves to be stretched and bent in various directions as we enjoy more of the wine.
I need more wine for that, but let's.
Seem to have brought it with you. Let's see how that goes tonight. Leiria, thank you very much. If this were Eurovision, thank you very much, Leiria. Let's go to Al Viagra now. And Linda, I think it's fair to say it's passed Linda's second glass test, well and truly.
Actually, this one's nearly finished as well. So.
Excellent.
I like it. It's a very pleasant drinking wine. I wouldn't say you would have it with steak or anything like that because it's not quite full-bodied enough. But just to sip and enjoy, very pleasant.
on a winter's evening, because it's chilly, isn't it? I mean, we can't complain here in Portugal, can we? But this is a night where you might like a robust red. Cheers to you, Mrs. M. You might like a robust red and close at hand on a damp here in Portugal.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Linda, so much for that. Your marks out of 5 then, because that's always fascinating when you do a marking, Linda, out of 5.
Hang on, can I interject here? Are we marking the wines or are we marking the year?
Linda's. I love it when Linda marks a wine.
Yeah.
So it's a wine.
The Linderometer.
It's passed the second glass test, which is crucial.
Yeah.
And now we're going into the 5 stars.
Push silence now,
What's it
please.
going to be? Drum roll.
It's difficult to mark it for the year because I haven't got any other wine from that year to compare it with at the moment. So,
yeah, that's why.
He's got them all. So I've only got this one bottle.
All right, drum roll then.
But I think that I probably deserved at least a 4.
Oh, that's high.
Shock up.
A 4.
All right. At some point, the Portuguese wine industry will be endorsing or adopting the Linda star system.
Yeah.
Second glass and then into the stars. It'll be a rite of passage for
Do
any.
you think it'd be like a series of faces from like?
I think it's a great idea. Yeah. And a star system.
Have that as a sort of like an emoji.
Yeah.
And other wine drinkers will see like a little sticker of Linda on a bottle of wine and say, "I'm having that." Definitely. Cheers, Linda. Thank you very much. Let's go to the Bleach household. Struggling with flu. Has it helped this evening to have a few glasses of wine?
We've had another. One's the second bottle now, so we've got a Porco Preto 2019.
I've got one of those on the wall.
Which is all right. It's drinkable. It's definitely okay. Yeah. But I have to admit, I prefer the Setable, the Muscatel, and I know I'm going to hate that third door. I don't want to give it back for a weird reason, which I'm sure you'll all appreciate. Is that sometimes it's great if you know a wine you really don't like to try it out on someone else to see if they're poncy enough to say it's great.
Just give it to them.
It's also a great joy. So I think I'm going to save this one either as a giftling or for someone that comes around unsuspectingly and go on about how much it is.
Pete, you remember that bottle of gin you gave me that got somebody else's name on it?
They're always the best. They are definitely. But I have to say, we've had
happy birthday, Nigel.
Two 2019 wines, and they're nice. But the best 2019 wine we had was one of our friends has got a vineyard, like a certified vineyard, a DOP one on his land, and he gave us a wine in 2020 that was from 2019. You've met him, Gary. You've met Joe, haven't you? And and the family. His wine was awesome from 2019, much better than the other years he's had. But the difficulty with saying it's a good or a bad year is there's such microclimates in all of Portugal that one year to the next totally depends on your land and the way that it faces, how this elevation, everything else. So one grape could be good, one grape could be bad. But so far, it's pretty good. I'm saving the horrible one for someone that's unsuspecting. So later on, I think will be a great gift. It's a bit like when Linda says that it will go well with chips and salt. Is what I like. It's just
Damn's my favourite phrase. Definitely. So be careful if you do get a wine in a pencil case, a wooden box from Pete. It's because he doesn't like it.
You know that he doesn't. It's one he doesn't like, and
as you said, to Nigel. Thanks for everything you've done for the netball club. This year. Brilliant. All right, cheers. Well, I think that's it. Maybe we should go around the room. It is actually 9:10. Villarreal says Tea Duck is a nice wine, but it's a bit more expensive in Lisbon.
Yeah, we didn't all score, Carl.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
Okay. So I'll just rectify that. Based on this very scientific survey of one bottle from one wine from one vintner by the name of Little, I give 2019 a definite 4.5 for the Adega de Villarreal.
Very good. Excellent. Oh, sorry, I thought I was being burgled there for a minute. It's just Terence.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
You should have a
I'll write you a check. Please don't hurt me. Right, okay. So let's work our way around the screen, which makes it a little bit easier. Andy went for the 45.
I'm impressed.
What do you want to say about 2019 or particular wines?
First of all, my question is to Leona. Yeah, you did a lot of dancing the last time you came over, kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How did you feel the day after, Leona?
I was absolutely fine.
Really? Oh man, I was so sore. My legs, my shoulders.
You were busting some moves. I saw the video. You've got some moves, mister.
Oh man, I tell you. You see, me and Leona, we share a little bit of a history. She doesn't know it, but we do. It's all built around disco and glitter.
Which nightclub in Birmingham?
The Locarno.
The Locarno.
Yeah.
Snobs.
Yeah. Oh geez, there were so
Snobs
many.
Is the name of a nightclub.
It was.
Right,
I never went. It's too upmarket for me.
Hence the name.
No, I just want. What was the original question?
How did she feel after dancing? Oh no, the wine.
The wine. The year. That's what we're focusing on.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. 2019.
Very good.
Thank you.
Bless you.
I'm going to give it like, let's say 69%. I'm 69% convinced of the argument that it wasn't a bad year. There was it was a regular, it recovered from 2018, which is an up and down temperature year, which caused them some severe problems. There's a lot of water in the ground. There was a good sort of ripening period because later in the year, the grapes matured and they had a chance on the vine. And it was free from disease. It wasn't a big disease year. You know, when you get a lot of moisture and someone mentioned mildew and all that kind of thing. There wasn't a lot of that in that year. So the wine I had tonight, which was the Jayen, right, was lovely. I'd put that with pretty much most things. The first one that kicked off, right, it's toilet cleaner.
All right.
I've got to tell you the truth, right? I've got to color it up a bit. But for me, I just, I didn't really go for it, but I'm not a great lover of white wines. 2019, apart from COVID and all that kind of business, which came in at the end.
Pre-COVID,
pre-COVID. It just came in right at the end, I think.
We were just skipping games.
Well, yeah,
absolutely.
Speak for yourself.
Interesting. Okay, so 69%.
2019, I am gonna give 68%. Yeah.
Okay, it's dropped a percent since you started talking.
That's me.
And if you go
69 was a more interesting number.
Terence Austin's annual wine review. yearofwinereview.com. You'll get the percentage ratings of each year.
I've got to apologize to you because you tried so hard. You really, seriously, you put your money where your mouth was. You put everything in it, and I've been cruel.
Yeah.
Right. And so I've got to say it was.
This is a tender moment.
I'm going to get a tender moment, which fading the violins. I'm going to say basically it was an intelligent choice. You showed a lot of guile and intelligence. A lot of bang for the buck.
And pluck.
And pluck. Yeah. Bang for the buck to the pluck. Right.
A spunky choice.
Yes. Well, you say what you want.
Come on, get on with it.
What I'm trying to say is that actually you tried a dangerous path, right?
It's not unknown to me.
Not unknown to you. So it's fair go to you, right?
Sometimes you pull it off. Sometimes you
don't. It stays on.
Thank you.
What can you say?
I think that's probably enough. Thank you very much. Have we done you yet, Johnny? So to speak. Let me just unmute you to answer that very personal question.
I'm ready to be done. Yes.
Conclusive question. Conclusive. Could you give us an impressive finish?
I'll give you a finish about my impressions of the wine. And my rating system is much more simplistic, especially when I only have a few percentage left on my phone battery.
Oh, yeah, crikey. That was him. This phone was fully charged before he started, right?
Apologies.
I'm either going to repeat the wine or not repeat the wine. And the wine that I presented tonight falls into the repeat category.
Okay, good. That's a really good way of looking at things. We've had so many brilliant perspectives tonight. So yes, it's like snog, kiss or marry for wines, isn't it? you would definitely go out on another date with the one you've chosen tonight. So thank you for that. The Tapadas de Lebres, I think. Cheers, Johnny. You've been amazing tonight. Thanks for joining us. You didn't know what you were letting yourself in for. So good
Not
on
at
you.
all.
All right, nice. Oh, hold on. That's not the applause. But anyway, that's a phone call from the president saying good job. All right, fantastic, Linda. I think you gave your rating, and I'm really struggling to speak now, so we do need to move on. The Whitbees, did you want to add a concluding comment this evening?
Do you want to score this?
No, you do it.
Well, I've yet to score a wine a 5 because
Have to be perfect.
that would make me want to stop drinking wine, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
so
fair play.
But in reality, this is probably right up there, the 4.5 at least. I can't remember when I've had a wine as good as this.
Well, that's amazing. Well, we are delighted to have been in your company for that.
Being in France.
Yeah, no, it's a really lovely wine.
He used the F word. He used the F word there, didn't he? He went with the F word.
No, seriously. I mean, when you've had great Bordeaux, I mean, it's just it's hard. When you go into a bistro and Chateau de Pap is the house wine, then you know you're getting into great places. But this, I would encourage anybody to try and find a bottle of this.
Okay,
it is
great tip.
Really
yummy. Yeah.
Where did you buy it from? Where did you buy it
where
from?
Where did you buy that?
We
we
bought
have
it
a wine store in
VRSA.
right on the waterfront.
Yeah.
Specialist wine store.
It's just a great
Yes,
place. It's
it
next to the Grand
is.
Hotel.
But that doesn't mean it's not available other places. That just happened to be where you
Yeah,
got
when
it.
we want something special, we go to him because he knows
Some
what we
great
like.
advice.
And
Yeah.
Garafeira, your local, to your local, what we used to call an
Local
offie.
guy, it is,
Yeah,
yes, an
definitely.
offie. Yeah.
most of the time we get ours in Lidl,
Continent.
or Continent or wherever you want. But when we want something special, we'll go to this guy because
And
he
you're
knows what
building
he
that relationship, aren't you? You're building the relationship that you were talking
That's
about
right.
before, Catherine.
Yes.
Good.
He has a port that he has bottled for him, and I don't think he can beat it for the price. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
That's a different topic, though. Never mind.
It is. Okay, well, we're up for that. We're up for that. Okay.
I've just noticed Philomena's with us out. Hello, Philomena.
Hello, Philomena.
We love you.
We do. Absolutely, we do.
Hello, Philomena.
She's got her own.
We love you, baby.
She's got her own jingle. Man.
She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies. And all that's best of dark and bright meets in
Not
her
sure what's happening
aspects
now.
and her eyes.
It's gone, Carl. You've lost control.
No, we're going to go to the bleachers now, who we hope your evening has been improved. As melhoras, amigos. You weren't feeling so well.
Sì, minha mulher è molto doente. Me not so much, but yeah, no. Unfortunately, Di is dying here. But I think if we get through enough wine, and so far it's quite good, she'll at least be quiet when she won't be able to cough as much because she'll be kind of regurgitate.
You're all heart, Pete. You're all heart.
Yeah.
Well, I've always said, as the doc knows, wine and cigarettes are the best way of curing any sort of disease, aren't they? See, and
Yes,
that's
the
the
doctor
doctor's
agrees.
voice. So
The doctor says yes.
Amazing.
Okay.
Isn't it? See, you just wait 5 years and the doctor's advice changes. That's all you've got to do. Brilliant. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. You've been amazing tonight. We'll have a little bit
Thank
of
you, Carl.
after
Thanks,
this.
Carl.
We'll play the music and we'll see you again next month. We don't know what we're doing, do we? Does anyone want to step forward with an offer of any kind?
I'm not offering, Carl, but you're going to show us the picture of the amphora.
I certainly was. Okay, let me just show you. Who doesn't like to see a big amphora?
Show us your amphora.
It's a question always on my lips.
All right, here it is. Here's Michael. We got your hopes up. I hope this satisfies you. Here he is. Well, look at the joke. Look at those jokes.
Look at the jokes on that.
Oh.
Roman jokes for you, everybody. Take care and bye for now.
Yeah.